welcome to Chat with KST. I'm your girl Kay, and today we're going to be discussing Dr. Umar. Who loves to hear Dr. Umar speak? Like, who else loves to hear him speak? Like, I love to hear him speak. He is a great speaker. Every time he speaks, he says something so profound. It has my mind blown. It's like, where do you learn this stuff? Like, what books do you be reading? Like, put me on. Like, greatest of everything. Like, just greatest. And the thing is, he has a knack for knowledge, so he constantly feeds himself knowledge, and he constantly learn more stuff. So it's not like he's always saying the same old repetitive stuff. Every time you see him, he's going viral for saying something new, controversial, but also so true and based on facts, right? But anyway, what we're going to be discussing is him saying that people who are emotionally damaged are always sexually promiscuous. Do you guys believe that? I don't know, but let's play the clip.
Let me say this again. If you are traumatized, if you are emotionally damaged, you are promiscuous. And do you want to know why?
Damn. Why is that?
Emotionally traumatized people require constant validation from others. You married to a woman who's been traumatized, abuse, abandonment, whatever. When you're not around her for too many days, she has to entertain another man because her trauma dictates constant validation. And constant validation means I must have a man in my personal space. You ever date a woman who was crazy about you? She absolutely loved you, so you thought. It was really addiction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you finally let her go, when you finally got her to stop stalking you, she ended up with another man like that. And your ego took a hit. You said, wait a minute. I know that woman was crazy about me. Climbed in my window, came to my... You understand? She was... She was crazy about your presence in her life. And the minute you distanced yourself from her life, she found a replacement without a problem. Emotionally damaged people are promiscuous because they cannot go without constant validation.
They need that validation.
They need it. Most of our promiscuous women are damaged women. They're not having sex because they love having sex. They're having sex because they have learned this is the only way I can get a man's attention.
The man said what he said. He said what he said, and I, in some way, shape, or form, agree. So what I agree with is not that emotionally damaged people are always sexually promiscuous, because I do feel like in some weird way, people who are emotionally damaged do either, like, it shows up in various ways, right? It doesn't only show up in promiscuity. And I do feel like emotionally damaged people who understand that they're emotionally damaged and seek the help that they need don't become promiscuous. However, I do feel like being promiscuous is associated with emotional damage, whether, as my best friend normally refers to it, as daddy issues, or like Dr. Umar just mentioned, needing that constant need for validation from a man. Now, I don't know what women Dr. Umar have been dating that's been stalking him that kind of gave him the in to do this psychological work. Like, why was she stalking me then? And then now this, and then now that, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just joking. I'm not saying that he really did go through it, but maybe he did. I don't know. They say experiences are the best teachers. However, I do feel like being promiscuous is something that does show that in some way, shape, or form, you need some kind of healing, right? You need to be healed from something, because I don't feel like your average person whose mental, emotional balance, spiritual balance is intact, or I don't feel like people who are emotionally, mentally, and spiritually stable and physically stable really do sleep around with other people. I feel like they learn to validate themselves. They learn to control themselves. They learn to have discipline. They learn to respect themselves. They learn to have certain morals, and they learn to not disrespect themselves just for a quick 3-second moment, right? And I feel like when you do have to subject yourself to those quick situations and you jump from guy to guy to guy, or even girl to girl to girl, right? That's not something that he mentioned. He mentioned it, I think, when he was talking about it. He meant it in a way to say that women, but I do also feel like it is also men. But he didn't specifically say a gender, so I won't put words in his mouth. But the term, like the way how I received the message, was that he was referring to this being a woman issue, and I feel like it's a people issue. If you are a man that jump from woman to woman to woman to woman to woman, matter of fact, he did say it. He did say it. He said basically, um he said to get a man's attention at the end of the clip, right? So he did say it, and he did direct it towards women. So that's another part of where I will disagree, where I do feel like it's a two-way street. I feel like men who just give their body freely just to bust a quick nut, I get it. Men are more sexual beings than women. However, men who just do that, I do feel like they also experience some emotional damage, whether it be mommy issues or their own need for validation as well, are equally as emotionally damaged as women. So what I do feel like we should take away from this Dr. Umar clip is heal your emotional damage, heal your childhood trauma, heal whatever it is that is causing you to act a certain way, right? Don't focus on the action. Don't focus on the action, but focus on what is causing that action. And when you can focus on what is causing that action, then you can work on that. And then the action would like kind of deviate from what it currently is. But anyway, do I agree with Dr. Umar? In a way I do, and in a way, like I said, I made some clarifications there that I don't. But I want to hear your thoughts and opinion. Those of you who are watching this on YouTube, how do you feel about this? Do you feel like emotionally damaged people are always promiscuous? Or do you agree with me feeling like it's the promiscuous people who always show that they are emotionally damaged? Or are you somebody that be like promiscuity doesn't have anything to do with being emotionally damaged or not? It's just your sex drive is either high or low. Share your thoughts in comments. I would love to hear. I would love to learn. I would love to explore along with you. And if you're listening to this through Spotify or Apple Podcasts, hey, we'll chat next time. Bye.